Hey guys, Richard Lane here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. Tonight I'm back to cooking. Oh, that's my bird in the background. He sure is a noisy little fella. Tonight I'm going to be making a pasta dish, but I'm not going to be making an Italian pasta dish. I'm going to be making a Spanish-inspired pasta dish with the flavors of Spain. Although the flavors of Spain and the flavors of Italy are very much in common, okay, Spanish pasta is going to be made a little bit differently. Some different ingredients, some saffron, some different kinds of cheese and anchovies and chorizo, and it's different. It's a Spanish-inspired pasta. Somebody asked me to do it because I do a lot of Italian, so somebody said, hey, why don't you do a Spanish pasta? And that's what I'm going to do this week. So as usual with YouTube, let's get going. Let's make some Spanish pasta. The first order of business is to brown up some Spanish chorizo. This here is chorizo de puerco suelto, loose chorizo, okay? It's ground to be put in a sausage casing, but they didn't, okay? It's loose. So it's not like the more granular chorizos that you might see in the plastic casing that you squeeze out to make with eggs. This is made like pork chop meat. It's very dense, okay? It's ground up sausage style, but loose. Chorizo de puerco suelto. Okay, I have to brown this up in a little bit of olive oil. First order of business. And then I'll move on to the next step. The chorizo is brown. Good enough. Next step, garlic. Now, if any of you have ever had chorizo, you know that chorizo has lots of spices. But we're going to add some more. This is garlic. Okay, I am going to cook this garlic down until it softens up a little bit and gets fragrant with the chorizo. And then I'm going to move on to the next step, which will be to add some onions and some other things. The chorizo and the garlic are getting along famously. It smells fantastic in here. And the next thing we're going to add about half of a red onion, fine dice. You can do sliver. I usually like to do slivers. Okay, but this is like a medium fine, dice. Half a red. Okay, you could use a regular white. Oh, I missed a piece there. Look at that. You could use white onion. You could use any onion you want, but in a lot of Spanish cooking, I think red goes better, especially the Spanish-inspired dishes of the southwest of New Mexico, where I used to live. A lot of the Spanish dishes incorporated the red onion. Now I'm going to saute this combination until those onions are translucent and tender, and then we can move on to the next step. The onions and the garlic have softened up with the chorizo, getting some browning going on, and I'm going to put in one 28-ounce can of crushed tomato. You can use canned plum tomato, you can use marinara sauce, you can use whatever you want, okay, but this is crushed red. I'm going to lower the heat to medium. I'm going to mix in the flavors of the chorizo, the garlic, the onion. Oh. Can't you just smell it? I can. Now, if the sauce becomes too thick, and I have a feeling it might, then I'll add some chicken stock to it to keep it running. This is not going to be a thick sauce. It's going to be slightly loose. Now, I'm going to cook this for about 3 minutes or so, get the tomatoes nice and warmed through, and we'll move on to the next step. All right, the sauce has been cooking for about 5 minutes. The tomatoes are warmed through, and the next thing that goes in, this is a combination of crushed oregano, crushed rosemary, crushed thyme, crushed sage, and a little bit of crushed tarragon, okay? Like I said, there's going to be a lot of flavors going on here. Now, even though I'm not doing an Asian dish, I like to look at all dishes as a matter of umami. Sweet, salty, savory, hot, pungent, So there are a lot of levels of flavor going on in this sauce, okay? It's an easy recipe to make, although the ingredients for the sauce can get quite complex, okay, with all these combinations, all right? Now, I'm going to cook this for about a minute and let those dried crushed herbs get softened up and release their essence. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Then I'm just going to add a little crushed red chili flake, about a half a teaspoon, what they call peperoncino in Italian, okay? But in Spanish they call chili quebrado, crushed chili, crushed red chili, just a little bit, chili quebrado, all right? Gives it just a little bit of warmth, okay? Sauce looks like it might be getting a little too thick. Add a little bit of chicken stock, just a couple of tablespoons at a time. There we go. That's the consistency I want. This isn't a stick, like glue kind of sauce. It's going to be nice and loose. There we go. This is what I want. Okay, now I'm going to cook this for another minute or two. And then we're going to move on to the next step. The sauce has been simmering for another 5 minutes or so. I had to add some chicken stock. It was getting kind of thick. This is about the consistency we want. Kind of like a bolognese. Okay, right about here. Okay. This is where we want it. Now, we're going to add another flavor layer. These are Spanish manzanilla olives. Okay, a cup, maybe a cup and a half. Okay. If you don't want to use strictly the green, you can use a half a cup of green and a half a cup of oil cured black, but I wanted to go with the green. Okay. And I'm going to raise the heat up a little bit to bring it to a simmer, a quick simmer, because another layer of flavor is dry Spanish sherry. 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup. And I want to raise the heat to a high simmer because we don't want the alcohol, we want the flavor of the sherry. So I have to cook off the alcohol. On a high simmer, continually stirring, that's going to take about a minute or two, and I'll be right back. Just in case none of you have ever cooked with sherry, it's hard to explain, but dry sherry, dry white sherry, excuse me, gives off such a wonderful aromatic odor. It's maybe licoricey, it's hard to explain, but it adds a flavor layer. It's just delicious. Now you'll notice I have not added any salt or black pepper to this dish. Okay, there's a fine salt layer in the chorizo de puerco. Okay, there's a little bit of salt in the green manzanilla olives, even though I rinsed them, they're still salt. And another flavor layer, another Spanish flavor layer that I'm going to add that has a salt layer, and why I'm not adding table salt, okay, is about a teaspoon right here. There we go. About a teaspoon right there of anchovies in the tin that have been ground into the olive oil of the tin. Okay, that's a nice salt layer, a nice flavor layer. This is why I haven't added table salt or even sea salt to this dish. There's enough from the chorizo, there's enough from the olives, and there's enough from the anchovy and olive oil. Oh, God. Now, I'm going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the next step. It's been about 10 minutes. I said I'm going to let this sauce simmer for 15. Another flavor layer that I'm going to add while this is simmering, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Just another aroma, just another flavor in a multi-layered sauce. Oh boy. Alright, now I'm going to stir this. I've added more chicken stock to keep it loose because it was getting kind of thick. Almost a can, okay? Not water, stock. Not starch water from spaghetti, stock, okay? Water can get a little bit pedestrian. Stock is where the flavor is. And the thing is, you could use chicken stock for this. You could use vegetable stock. You could have even used a seafood stock. It doesn't matter. Even a beef or a lamb stock, it doesn't matter. Okay? I'm going to let this simmer for 15 more, and I'll be back. Finally, the sauce has been simmering for 15 minutes, and in goes some fire-roasted red bell peppers. Okay? There we go. some fire roasted reds, a little bit of sweetness. Okay, now I've turned off the heat. Okay, the sauce is hot enough. What I'm doing now is I'm letting the flavors marry. Okay, so there goes some fire roasted red bells, and last but not least, when it comes to Spanish cooking, saffron. Okay, can you see those? Okay, saffron, Spanish saffron, an amazing, amazing spice, herb. Okay, there you go. Turn the heat off, because I don't want to burn that out. I want the saffron and the peppers and the paprika and all the other flavor layers while it's nice and steamy. Okay, I want these flavors to marry, so I'm going to let this sit here for about 30 minutes, let the flavors marry, and then I'm going to make some pasta, and then I'm going to plate up. I'll reheat the sauce, and I'll plate up. Oh, it just smells fantastic in here. I let the sauce sit for about 30 minutes and cool, and as it cooled, the flavors married. Okay, now I'm bringing it back up to a simmer. Okay, I'm bringing it back up to a simmer. There it goes. Okay, there it goes. A little bit higher. There we go. That's what I want. I've made some spaghetti, some linguine from Puglia. Some linguine, a little bit thinner than your average. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can throw some pasta into the sauce and then plate it, or you can throw some pasta onto a plate and then cover it with the sauce. I'm going to take a serving of pasta and throw it into the sauce. Okay. I'm take a nice healthy serving of pasta, throw it into the sauce, turn it in the sauce. Okay. Let it cook for about a minute in the sauce. And then I'm going to plate up and we'll see what it looks like. Oh my. So what did it turn out looking like? There it is. It looks delicious, okay? I got the linguine, I got the sauce, there's some of the chorizo and the green onions and the peppers and the saffron. And right on top, some finely chopped queso fresco Spanish cotija cheese, okay? It's a semi-hard cheese, it's actually a hard cheese, okay? Spanish cotija. Very good, very delicious. Another reason why I didn't add any salt to this dish, it's right here. So I hope you like this recipe. I hope you try it. Like I said, it's very easy to make, but a lot of complexity in the flavors. And there it is, my take on Spanish-inspired pasta. I hope you like it. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. I really appreciate you watching this recipe, Spanish-inspired pasta. It's different from Italian pasta, although, like I said, the similarities are very close in the ingredients used, but this just has some additional flavors. The sherry in the sauce is delicious, okay, and the anchovies and saffron in the sauce, just wonderful aromas. But I'm glad you stopped by to take a look. I hope you make this recipe. I know you'll enjoy it. I want to thank you for stopping by once again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.